Who walked out?
Really? Like me? Yeah. Yeah, sure did.
Good evening.
More than that.
This is the conference meeting of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township held at City Hall, 29 North Day Street, Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, January 20th at 7:01 p.m. Roll call. Councilman Coley.
Present.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert is absent. Councilman Montague III.
Present.
Councilman Ross.
Here.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson is absent, and Council President Wooten. Also present is Tricia Scipio, Chris Hartwhite, Business Administrator, Derek Brown, Fire Chief, Niall Clements, CFO, Gracia R. Montillis, City Attorney, Marlon G. Towns, Legislative Research Officer. At this time, we'll recognize a moment of silence.
We've had so many deaths that impact the city of Orange Township, so let's have a moment of silence for Michael Brown's brother who works in DPW, of course, Councilwoman Easton's nephew, and Takesha Knight, who works in the finance department, her father. We've had so many deaths.
Cody.
And of course, our guy, Governor Cody. And all of these people were connected to the city of Orange Township.
Leonard
then we-
Mumford.
And Mr. Munford, who was a really big family in the city of Orange Township. And we also were given information that Councilwoman Hilbert's uncle passed too. So just keep us in prayer as we keep y'all in prayer. So a moment of silence for all those people.
Thank you. Special notice. Please be apprised, anyone wishing to discuss agenda or general items shall sign their name on the comment sign-up sheet and will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to interact with the council. Sunshine Law. The requirements of the NJSA 10:4-9 et se Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger and published in the record transcript on Thursday, July 10th, 2025, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. Matters of discussion. We'll now hear from our health officer, Vincent DiFilippo.
Good evening, Council President, council members.
Good evening.
How are you, Vinny? How are you? Good. I just took some notes for the board members this way. As you know, as of December 30th, the United States had 2,500 measles cases. 5 were actually in New Jersey, and there were 3 deaths. That was nationwide. Okay. COVID is up about 10%. It should be more, but don't forget, it's not reported. The flu vaccine is up over 40%. I was in the hospital just recently, and as I was there in the waiting room in about a half hour, I must have seen about 20 people came in with flu and COVID testing. There is a new strand out there, the XRG, that's out there, so this way you know. Last year alone, Orange had over 500 cases that went to University Hospital for TB testing, but none were confirmed. So the year prior to that, we did have two TB cases. Believe it or not, one living directly across the street from us. As of yesterday, in South Carolina, there were 128 measles cases confirmed. And believe it or not, 80% of them were people that were never vaccinated. Okay. That's basically it regarding diseases, but just remember that coming up soon, we have the World Cup coming up. And inside that stadium holds over 82,000 people. They expect to have over 6 million people in the state of New Jersey coming through. That means people are going to be coming from different countries. Some of them are not going to be vaccinated. They're going to be staying with people, bed and breakfast places, or friends overnight or for a week. That's the new thing that we're worrying about right now. And also hospital stay. With all those people, if something happens, there might be overcrowding, overflowing, and things like that. And we're pretty close to the location. We did have some Legionnaires cases in Orange. That's been going on for the last 2-3 years. It's a steady flow. And just to bring you up to date, we had some problems with some, we'll say some education sites that we went to one today, and the whole place was religious exempt. There were 25 students that weren't vaccinated. So this way, you know, and there's been a decrease by 6% for kindergarten enrollment with kids being vaccinated. So it went down, it didn't go up. So that's our biggest scare that we have right now is people getting vaccinated, you know. And just to let you know that we do audits every year in our schools and daycare centers. They have a certain amount of time to get vaccinated. If they don't, we pull them out of schools, and we have issued out tickets. So, is there any questions you want to ask me?
Yes.
Okay.
Where and when can folks from the city of Orange go for vaccination?
They could call us, we'll set them up with the time and the location through the county or through East Orange Health Department. They also have a vaccinated clinic, we'll work hand in hand with them, they have no problem.
So the vaccinations are readily available at any time?
Yes, normally about 2 times a year, either at our field house on Lincoln Avenue or the new center in the park.
Okay. Has the city of Orange or Essex County had any outbreak with measles?
At this time, no.
No. Okay.
Has there been cases in New Jersey? Yes.
Yes, yeah, you said that. What about COVID?
Don't forget, COVID is not reportable. If you're telling me, has there been cases in COVID in Orange? Yes, because I gave out some test kits.
Yeah,
At least the 25 I gave out, 15 of them came back positive.
yeah.
Don't forget, they don't have to report it anymore. If you go to the emergency room in hospitals, right now, they're requiring masks. You can't come in without a mask, and also some doctor's office now are requiring, if you're sick, they prefer you wearing a mask.
So there is no recommendations or nothing that we can do because you talked about the soccer festival that's gonna be here in the summer. And most of those people, I can probably say, are not vaccinated, you know, if I can say that. What can we do, if anything, to prevent, you know, us from catching any diseases or anything like that?
It's like sending your kids to school.
Yeah,
You want them to be vaccinated. You know what your kid has and what your kid does, but you don't know what somebody else's child is doing and what they have.
right.
So your best bet is to get vaccinated. If you're not sure, that's your only protection, you know. Even though, don't forget, it's a new strand out there, but at least you're something protected. You're not maybe 100%, but you're 75, 80.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to call up Fire Chief Brown. Do I have to?
I think so, yeah, because he's not on the agenda.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to?
Before you speak, Fire Chief, we have to suspend the rules. Sorry.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion, Ross.
Second, Montague.
A motion to suspend the rules to hear from Fire Chief Brown was made by Councilman Ross, seconded by Councilman Montague III. All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion adopted. Fire Chief?
Good evening, City Council, Administration, Chief Brown, Orange Fire Department. Hope everyone is having a good and safe winter so far. Just an update on a few things, just keep everybody to know. With snow conditions, I know we're looking at some snow possibly coming in, more snow possibly Sunday or into Monday. If you have a hydrant in front of your home, shovel it out, clear that area for us. If you have a car, you can't find any parking, don't park in front of a hydrant so we can locate it just in case any conditions. If you have any ice or anything like that, salt down, clear those areas for safety for yourselves and those pedestrians walking on the sidewalk, anyone walking by. Fire safety, I know it's cold. Right now it's approximately about 19 degrees outside. Anyone with portable heaters, use his own dedicated outlet. Make sure the portable heater is in good condition. Keep it 3 feet away from any other objects. Safety for kids as well. If you're not in a room, shut it down and unplug it. Stay safe. Don't sleep with your cell phones. Don't use an oven to heat the home or the room or the house as well. emits CO levels, and you can't smell CO. So let's be safe, even the fire, the burners on top of the oven. I know sometimes people use them, let's not use them, let's be very safe as possible. And if you have anything, I know we have a hot heat safe line that we can call for the city as well. The council president will give that number, I don't know that number offhand, but let's stay safe and be well. Also, be careful leaving your cars outside, warming up. Make sure you lock them, anything like that. There's a lot of things going on. And watch out for black ice. We have had an uptick of people falling on ice on properties. I have noticed that on our calls going out. A lot of people getting injured on ice. But as far as anything else, stay safe and be well. Any questions?
Chief Brown.
Oh, one thing. I would like to mention about promotions. Thank you for the promotions. We did promote, the city did grant promotions for 9 fire captains in the fire department. They will help us in our leadership and manning the apparatus and providing services. And with that promotion, the city will have a savings in overtime with the savings of the promotion of officers. So I welcome them and their leadership in helping us to provide services to the residents in the city of Orange. Do you have any
Council,
questions for me?
Thank you.
Council
Thank you.
President, I have the heat hotline number if you want me to give it.
Okay, Councilwoman Summers.
Okay, the heat hotline number is 1-201-259-3690. 1-201-259-3690.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my question is, you just mentioned like don't sleep with your cell phone. So I might be a little guilty of that.
We all
But
have-
it's really
we all
close.
have. We all have been a little guilty.
So I was just like the safety.
The safety issue is in this device, the radiation, you don't need that near your head while you're sleeping. You have enough of it while you're using it normally. Using it plugged into the outlet, it makes it even more stronger while it's generating. So let's place that on the nightstand somewhere. After we use it and we unplug it, make sure we take the plug out of the receptacle because it doesn't shut off. It's still running itself as an appliance, okay? So we keep these things away from us, and we need a timeout from them sometimes. So I've been guilty of it myself, but I've made it better since I've been in this position not to do the don'ts.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Council President,
Councilman Ross.
Chief Brown, I know we asked this question previously, but I'm gonna ask again, maybe something's changed. Have we gotten any grants or any money for, smoke detectors or carbon monoxide, detectors?
So we're still, unfortunately, that's been shut down on the federal level. So we have been looking at other resources to get in combination smoke detectors, because we know the price point is high on them, so we're trying to do as best we can. So we're still researching and out there looking for anything that's available to us.
Any grants
As far as
available for that?
donations, there's been nothing available. They've been shut down on us, unfortunately. But that doesn't stop us from out there and exploring to see what is available. Because in between there's other little stuff that we can identify and see. So we are exploring that. We just didn't stop because they stopped there.
Okay,
We're trying to
great.
get through another doorway.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Council President.
Councilman Foley?
Chief, over the last couple of winters, we've been, okay with snow, as far as, the snow accumulation. I believe we have a little over 500 hydrants, in the city. And, I don't know if this is gonna be a bad winter or not, but, I see this in, in some other towns where they have those hydrant locators, the little sticks that sticks up in case we do get,
Yes.
some, significant snowfall, just to make it a little easier identifying the fire hydrants. I don't know if that's something that you thought about.
Yes, we have. We're working on that. That is
Okay.
something that I have advised before, so we're looking into make sure we have the stems, the locators
Okay.
that go in the hydrants, as well as the H's in the street for law enforcement, so they can see if there's a hydrant, there's an H in the street as far as location purposes
yeah,
as well. When it snows, you're not gonna see that H, but you will see the stem.
Yeah.
So it's something that we're working on. The hydrants in the city, we have more new hydrants than we ever had. Once we do have a malfunctioning hydrant, they have been replacing the hydrants.
Yeah.
So that has been a positive thing. The stems and things that we're moving in next to, hopefully have them put onto the hydrants as well, the H's put in the roadway.
Yeah, and I haven't really seen a lot of, inoperable, hydrants around the city lately.
No, so when,
Yeah.
I can say myself, and when the the units out there riding around, if they notice a hydrant, we get the location, I send that in. And I can say through the BA and the water department, they've been sufficing hydrants.
Yeah, I've been
That's
noticing
that,
that.
yeah, there's no question. The city of Orange is gravity fed from the wells above. Our highest pressure is down in the valley, and then it's drafted throughout the city. So we have a great network of hydrants and water pressure within the city of Orange.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Can I just ask,
Councilman Ross?
how do we know when a hydrant is inoperable?
They will be tagged, out of service.
But how do you know it's out of service?
It'll say out of,
Before you tag it,
We test the
they
hydrant
test the hydrants.
every year,
How-
twice a year,
twice a year?
yes.
Yeah, there's hydrant testing going on, or if we get to use a plug, as we call them, as a hydrant, you have to hear me say plugs, so. If it's inoperable, that day I get a notification through the report, and we identify it, and immediately we call DPW and go through the proper procedures to get that hydrant mitigated.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome. I do have one last question regarding hydrants.
Yes.
So when it does snow, whose responsibility is it to remove the snow from around the hydrant?
So if it's a hydrant, if you see a hydrant in front of your neighbor's house, in front of your house, if the community helps us with snow shoveling around the hydrant, that's great. Other than that, we go out with our districts and we shovel hydrants.
Okay.
We do have a map of the location of the hydrants and identify those areas where they will be snowing and if they're plowed in or anything like that, especially on Main Street, our main roadways or the county roadways, when they can possibly get plowed in. So we do, on a call, we see it, we get out there and shovel out a hydrant. So
Okay.
we're out there on the streets as well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Anyone
everyone.
else? No one else?
Stay safe, everyone, stay warm. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. The resolution and ordinances to be presented at tonight's meeting are listed on the attached regular meeting agenda. If any council member wishes to discuss any resolution or ordinance, it may be discussed at this time. If you notice, council members, in your packets, your folders in front of you, Resolution 46, 2026 was amended. There was a typo. It said -1%. It should have said -11%. On ordinance, I'm sorry, Resolution 53-2026, we added the CERTA funds. On Resolution 56-2026, it was amended to list both accounts for the certification of funds. Any,
Anything else? So, I'm not supposed to talk on social media. Okay. Anyone have any concerns?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Council President.
Councilman Coley?
Hey, can you have the BA just go over 68, 2026, please?
So, this is a settlement that was entered into, I think, 2 years ago, in 2024. It requires us to pay a particular amount of money each year for, is it 5 years now? It's either 4 or 5 years. We do it as an emergency appropriation at the beginning of the year because the money's due in January and we don't have a budget, so we do the emergency appropriation and we have to include it in the budget. We did the same thing last year and we made a payment in '24 as well.
Okay. And,
Council President and Councilman Coley, before you move on to
Councilman
something else, can I just ask a question about this resolution? This is a settlement,
Yes, it is.
so is this coming out of our budget, or
Yes.
should it be coming out in insurance?
It's an
JIF?
uninsured claim.
It's what?
It's an uninsured claim.
Uninsured claim, okay. That's where I was confused. Thank you. Sorry, Councilman.
no, it's okay, it's okay, that's okay.
Councilman Coley?
Yeah,
You good?
and, 72, 2025. Let me find it. I think that's that loading zone on Lincoln Avenue.
So we were gonna keep that postponed until we get the engineering report that
Okay.
was requested
Alright.
by the council president.
Very good, thank you.
to what?
72, 2025.
When do you think the next meeting?
Yeah, the next one.
Thank you.
It's gotta remain postponed?
And if it's all right with the council president, while we're on postpones, 70, 2025, I still don't have the explanation from the engineer. So that'll stay postponed.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
70, 2025, I still don't have the explanation from the engineer as to why they don't have access.
But I see in the package here and attached to this, resolution, you have a picture of the house. Okay, and it shows there's no driveway.
Except the engineer said there is a driveway.
Yes,
That's why I said I want a clarification from the engineer.
okay, all right.
And one last thing, 53, 2025, if we can just keep that postponed? Thank you.
To the second meeting in February 1st.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Second?
Okay, I mean, whatever that date is, because I still haven't had an opportunity to speak.
Okay. I'll do the second meeting.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Council President.
Oh, you're welcome.
Council President,
Councilman Rawls?
I wanna, talk about, 43, 2026.
Bless you.
This is a resolution rejecting the bids, for snowplow services.
Yes, usually we bid for additional snowplow services every year. This year we put out the bid. We got a response that was non-responsive, so we have to bid it again.
When you say non-responsive, what does that actually mean?
We asked for a total of 3 trucks in the bid, and the bidder only supplied information for 2.
Okay.
So that makes it a non-responsive bid, and we can't take it.
And you only got one bid?
Correct.
Okay. 53, 2026. I need a real explanation on this one. Let me pull it up, thank you.
It was a complicated read.
Yeah, it is. Okay, but, the first whereas, it says the contract referenced and authorized by Resolution 298, 2023, included an annual cost of $2,887,000. Okay? The fourth whereas is saying that we want to increase this contract to over $4 million, which is a large increase. What is the increase for?
So the contract that was approved in 2023 also has an escalator in it. So it goes up each year. But mostly the increase is because we were spending a lot more money in what's called the MRRA account, which is a maintenance, repair, and rehabilitation account. That runs like a credit card, and then at the end of the year, we have to do a true-up. So we thought that it was better to actually budget some of those funds in the monthly payments and increase the size of the contract so that we don't have to, at the end of every year, have such a large true-up.
So, are we finished in the 5th year for this, annual contract of $2 million plus?
Well, we'll have to bid it again.
So what year are we in?
I think we're in we just started year 3,
So why are they asking for an increase?
because
In
they're
year-
allowed
year
to under
3.
the contract.
Okay, then explain to me, and I think you just mentioned it, but explain to me again, the, 5th whereas, where it says that, the contract requires the city to reimburse Woodard and Kerner for any unforeseen operational and maintenance costs.
Right, so
And the
the,
above an estimated contract amount which totals $793,000.
right, so we budget for the MR and RNA account, and then we incur emergencies or work that's outside the scope of the contract. They pay for that during the course of the year, and then we pay them back at the end of the year as part of a true-up. And in the amended contract, what we've done is we've added a mid-year true-up as opposed to just waiting until the very end of the year. And we've budgeted for capital expense in our water budget so that we can cover some of the mRNA overage.
And the last beef, it forever resolved, that 5 million, what is that about?
That's just a combination of the 793 true-up for the MRRA account and the new contract, O&M.
And if this is approved tonight, how long will this last? What is this contract, when is this contract expire and we have to do this all over again?
Well, the contract expires in 2 more years. I believe it's a July or September contract. I have to check. It's not the end of the year. Or actually it may be, and I did a transition in the beginning. But it's got 2 more years on it.
So the total amount of coming out of the 26 FYI on the 26 budget is how much? Just for clarity.
$4,391,688. And it's out of the water budget.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
Council President,
Councilwoman Hilbert?
through you to the business administrator. Well, first of all, thank you, Councilman Ross, for addressing the same concerns that I had in regards to that billing cycle. I wanted to ask some questions regarding this additional piece we have for Millennium Strategies that was here in my folder.
You mean the report?
Yes, the report here,
Okay.
with the list of grants. So I'm just skimming through it because I just got it. And I'm looking at the type of grants that, are these all the grants that we applied for? And if so, I see a lot of them where it says that there's no project identified. So normally I thought we had to kind of state the purpose of why we needed such funding and be able to report back to them on how we spent it. And if we didn't spend it enough time, we would have to give the award back.
Yeah, it depends on the grant.
It depends on the grant.
So there are grants you can apply for without specifying the particular project until you actually get a grant approval letter. So, for example, we applied for $2 million in DOT funds for road improvements.
Mhm.
And then we identify the roads that are going to be improved once we get the grant approval.
Okay, so I see something here for just the 2 that stands out to me the most, right? The New Jersey State Library Expanding Digital Literacy Grant Program.
What page is that on?
It is page 6 of 7. And so see, I see a date of, because all these charts are different, it says a due date of September 12th, 2025, and then the amount, the award amount would be $25,000. And then I see a date of like August 5th, the date notice. So is this stating that we did apply? It's just saying due date, but it doesn't say if we actually applied.
We applied for the literacy grant, yes.
Okay. And so my question is, we're looking at this and it just gave it to us, but there's no overall what I'm trying to say to you is no overall statement stating like what grants are still pending, because we have to kind of like just comb through them all. So could they send us like an email later on just telling us like what's still?
So if you look at page, I think this is what you're asking for. If you look at the bottom of page 2, there are grants listed that are applications in progress.
Mm-hmm.
And then underneath that, on page 3, is grant application submitted pending review.
Pending review, okay. Hold on, let me highlight that, awesome. And then.
Those headings were difficult to find because they weren't large enough for me.
I was just trying to skim through with the time I had. I'm sorry, just got it. But the other question I had was, I see these grants and how they're supporting different, areas or sectors in our community. Are we able to submit a grant for renovations for our Bell Stadium?
So we have not identified any grants that the stadium would be eligible for outside of the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank, H2O loan, stormwater projects, because the renovation of the stadium requires a significant stormwater improvement. There is a $1 million principal forgiveness on that application, if we were to put it forward. And we're working with the Board of Ed to determine if and how we go about doing that.
Council President,
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
on that same note, I'm pretty sure Councilwoman Hilbert probably received the same calls that I think there's a threat of them not being able to have home games if the field is not, like they're on the list of no home games if the field is not improved, and they did it before, a couple of years ago. We had all away games because the field condition.
So, the stadium project, as it's envisioned, construction would take approximately 18 months. So there's going to be a period of time where you're not going to be able to use the stadium. As to the current condition of the stadium, I've had discussions with the Board of Ed's business administrator or board secretary, and it may be that they don't have home games there or have use of that field going forward until the stadium is fixed.
I mean, that's better to get it fixed than somebody get hurt and we have a lawsuit, because it's
Correct.
like lumps and humps and
Yes.
all type of things. Will you finish, Councilwoman?
I just have one more,
Okay.
but thank you for
No problem.
adding that.
Mhm.
My other question was in regards to 60-2025. I do believe there was like 2 different doc numbers for this case here.
There are.
And so which one are we approving? Because I thought one was
Proving
settled.
both because there's multiple defendants.
Because there's multiple defendants. Okay.
Correct.
All right. I meant to ask you that earlier today. And then I kind of want to switch gears a little bit. BA Hartwike, you've been very supportive in my inquiries in regards to what we can do in regards to moving forward the short-term rental legislation. And I just kind of want to update between you and the law department on when we could get a list of dates for hearings to address this publicly with the community.
So, understanding the process, which I think we went over in my office, it depends on whether or not you want to have those community meetings before you refer this to the planning board, or whether you want to have the community meetings after you refer it to the planning board. And that's a decision that council members or yourself would have to make. There will be required hearings once it's referred to the planning board, but those might be different than the community meetings you're envisioning.
Okay. So these community meetings, they'll be ran by the council or by zoning officer? Because I do believe we said we had to incorporate like a
The
zoning
hearings-
attorney.
The hearings that would be required by the process after it was referred to the planning board, and when it came back to the city council, The first ones would be run by the planning board, and the second ones would be run by the city council.
Okay, thank you. My final, my final statement is also in regards to code enforcement with an apartment building, 433 Lincoln Avenue. I believe we had a couple here that addressed the concerns of conditions at our previous council meeting. And I did also mention, along with Councilwoman Jamie Summers Johnson, that it would be, I believe it would be in the city's best interest that we do work together to put together a task force. I know that certain buildings, they only have to comply to inspections like every 2 years or 5 years or whatever. But I do believe we need a different type of plan where we could phase out certain apartment buildings that are compliant to code enforcement and good quality of life initiatives. And we have a quality of life concern at this building where tenants have been complaining about lack of heat for the past 3 months, black mold, infestation, and lack of communication from their management. Could you provide some type of recommendation or insight as into our best course of action as an administration and a council on how we can assist these residents with a task force or with advocacy for them?
Sure, so we do have a task force. We deploy that task force when we get complaints, significant complaints about a building. And we've had a fair degree of success employing the task force, including in a couple of instances, subsequent litigation against the building owners. So that would be the next step after the task force hits the building, provides them with summonses and dates to correct the violations. Ultimately, they end up in municipal court. If the violations rise to a level of unacceptability, then the next step would be to take them to Superior Court under an action that in the past we've created or filed as a civil rights complaint. In terms of that particular building, it's an interesting building because it's technically not an apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
It's technically a condominium building. However, of the approximate 55 units, 33 are owned by the same company. So we were able to get in touch with the owner's representative for the company. The heat was fixed yesterday. We sent code enforcement there today, along with the health officer. They're going back tomorrow with a representative from ownership to do some inspections. We need to get, there were some complaints that were registered but wanted to be registered anonymously. We need a renter who has a mold problem and an infestation problem to give us their unit number so that we can actually do an inspection, because we have to be able to get into a unit. So that's the next step, which I talked to you about this afternoon.
Yes.
And once we have that, we'll take the next steps with respect to mitigating whatever conditions we find.
Thank you. Council President, I'm done. Yes.
Council President.
Council President, I would like to put on the record that Councilwoman Hilbert and Councilwoman Summers Johnson arrived at 7:07 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Summers.
I just have one quick question. So I'm looking through the Millennium as well, and before I get really, really excited, right? Because I see Beechwood Terrace. I'm getting excited. Wait a minute. Beechwood Terrace, wait a minute, I saw something. Berkeley Road, wait a minute. And Metcalf Park, the play area surface. Am I reading that correctly, like those are gonna be improved? Like,
Yes.
we won grants for those 3 projects?
What pages were you on?
Okay, let's go through it. First page is Beechwood Terrace at the top. It's Beechwood Terrace, Carroll Street, William Street Improvement Project.
That was awarded.
That was awarded,
Project
all right,
is
let's
gonna
go
be
on.
done.
The other one was Berkeley Road, which is the dead end, Berkeley Road, which is the dead end off of Berkeley Avenue. On page 2 or 4, I guess they say 4, priority 2, another grant. It says fall 2025. Is that when it was granted? Page 4 of 7, it says.
That is submitted pending review.
Okay, pending review. And then the last one, the Metcalf Park Place area surface on page 5 of 7. And it says $100,000.
That has not been awarded yet, but the application has been submitted.
All right, okay. Okay. It's a good day. All right.
Council President,
Councilman Ross.
same with Millennium. I want to be excited like Councilwoman Summers Johnson, but I don't know if I can be. It says that we got in '25 about $2 million in awards, correct?
That's
And there's
correct.
14 million outstanding. Can you tell me what's pending and that we are assured of, or pretty much will get awarded in '26 that will be added to our budget?
Well, I can't tell you with any certainty anything that's pending that will be awarded.
Well, some things, we got before, we get year after year, I mean, can you?
Sure. So, and again, I'm going to provide the caveat that we're in a very different grant environment
Okay.
because several of these grants flow through from the federal government to state government.
Correct.
Most of the transportation grants come that way. If you look at the bottom of page 2, grant applications in progress,
Yep.
we've been very successful obtaining Green Acres grants. So I would say that we have a good likelihood of success on the Green Acres Park grant.
Okay.
The U.S. Tennis Association grant, we've received before. And I see no reason why that wouldn't be repeated.
Okay.
The Essex County Community Development Block Grants for Public Facilities and Improvements for 2026, you have a resolution on tonight's agenda authorizing those applications for 2 particular projects. We routinely get that grant.
Okay.
The next one, same thing. That's at the top of page 3.
I see it.
The legislative grant, obviously, that's very speculative. The Global Foundation Fire Grant, I don't know. The body armor grant, we typically get a repeat of, but that's a Justice Department grant through the New Jersey Division of Criminal Justice, but it's actually federal money. So it depends on whether or not they've continued that. We've put in our application.
Okay.
The SRF Technical Assistance Planning and Design Grant for PFAS, we're getting. The FEMA Staffing Adequate Fire and Emergency Response Grant for hiring 6 new firefighters, I don't know. Again, a lot of that is federal money.
Did we get that last year?
No,
No.
I'm not even sure we applied last year.
Okay.
The New Jersey Department of Transportation, Local Transportation Projects Grant Fund for various road improvements. We have done very well with DOT grants. I expect that we'll do some of that 3.3 million, if not all of it. The community project funding for Cleveland Street water and sewer main replacement, we'll see. That's a legislative appropriation grant through the senator's offices. And legislative appropriation grants have sort of been thrown into a flux because of what's going on in Washington.
Understood.
The Glen Avenue drinking pipe, that's an application we've made for fiscal year '26, also a federal appropriations grant. I don't know if we'll get that or not. It falls into all of the priority categories that they want for those legislative appropriation grants, but knowing what's going on in Washington, I can't say one way or the other. The New Jersey Transit Grant for transport vehicles, we've been very successful with those. We didn't apply last year because we had an award from the year before. So I expect that we'll get that. The way that works is we might not get the vehicle for another 2 years. Public Facilities and Improvements Program for Community Development Block Grant, that we're gonna get. We've already sort of been awarded that. Grant applications that have been submitted, but funding not awarded yet. The Orange Transit Station Shelter House Improvement Project, not sure. But I think we have a good shot. And we've also identified another grant for that project very recently, like this week, that we're going to apply for.
Okay.
The Leary Firefighters Foundation, we did not get that last year, but this year we're hopeful. The Department of Corrections reintegration grant, we're not gonna get. The Highway Traffic Safety Sober, Drive Sober for PD overtime we get routinely. The summer expansion for the Junior Public Law and Public Safety Academy, we didn't get it last year because they didn't offer it. So hopefully we'll get it this year. The highway traffic click it or ticket, we've routinely gotten. New Jersey Department of Community Affairs Local Recreation Improvement Grant, we got that last year for a different project. We apply every year, identified projects, so I expect we'll get that. Do you want me to continue?
No, we're good. I just wanted to know, you know, if we were gonna get any of these awards, you know, so that we can insert it into our budget, you know.
Well, we can only insert them when we get the
Once you
award
get 'em,
letter.
right. So, but you mentioned quite a few that possibly we will get for the '26 budget.
We have a pretty aggressive grant consultant, and they work very closely with the various departments, not only in identifying grants, but in preparing the applications.
Yep. Thank you.
Council,
Thank you, Council
Anyone
President.
else?
yes, Council President.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
With all the grants that we have, do we have anything that will help us with the salaries for recreation?
We've not identified a grant that would cover that.
Okay. And then I also did,
Typically, that would be a legislative appropriation grant,
okay,
like we got last year that saved firefighters,
From the
police
Senate.
officers, and some civilian employees.
okay. The other question I had was in regards to Resolution 49-2026 for our street sweepers.
Yes.
How many do we currently have on the road? Two. Okay, and we're repairing two because we're not gonna purchase a new one. Was that correct?
They are new.
They are new?
They're less than a year old, but we need to do consistent repairs on them because they're out every day.
Okay. Is it by, I have reports that some people didn't see it over by like Highland and Lincoln in a while. So some of the, building supers, they're actually going out and they're cleaning themselves.
Okay.
So I could give you the addresses for that location, but I'm not quite sure what the schedule is.
That's fine.
On
Give me
that
the
side.
locations.
Okay, all right. But I'm sorry, if, with these repairs for these two here, when can we anticipate them to be back on the road?
Oh, they're on the road. This is a parts, service, and repair contract for both of them, so that when they have a problem, we can repair them.
So we're not looking to get two more?
No, these are brand new.
Okay. I could say something else, but I'm not going to. Did you see the streets on the way here? Okay, no problem. Thank you. That's it, Council President.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Ross.
Second, Montague.
Motion by Councilman Ross, second by Councilman Montague III. All those in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We stand adjourned at 7:53 PM. This is the regular meeting of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township held at City Hall, 29 North Day Street, Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, following the conference meeting. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilman Coley.
Present.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hibbert.
Present.
Councilman Montague III.
President.
Councilman Ross.
present.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Present.
Council President Wooten.
Here.
Also present is Tricia Scipio, Chris Hartwig, Business Administrator, Derek Brown, Fire Chief, Niall Clements, CFO, Gracia R. Montellis, City Attorney, Marlon G. Towns, Legislative Research Officer. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 EDSA Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger and published in the record transcript on Thursday, July 10th, 2025, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. Approval of meeting minutes. January 6, 2026 conference and regular meeting minutes. Council members Easton, Montague III, and Ross were absent and should abstain. Is there a motion?
Motion, Summers Johnson.
Second, Hilbert.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Hilbert. On the motion, Councilman Coley is absent. Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III?
Abstain.
Councilman Ross?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
Yes.
That's 3 yeas and 2 absences, 2 abstains. This passes. Reports. Department monthly revenue collections. The clerk's office collected $1,125 for the month of December. There were no open reports to report, no communications and petitions. Citizen. You want to do it now? Okay. May I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second, Coley.
Motion to suspend the rules was made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson and seconded by Councilman Coley. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
What did we suspend?
We're suspending the rules to
To
look at a
vote on
piece.
74, 2025, and postpone it.
Okay,
I have
yes.
to leave.
Okay. Councilwoman Summers Johnson
Yes?
and Council President Wooten.
Yes.
That's 6 yes and 1 absent. This has been adopted. All right, so let me go to, sorry. Ordinance 74-2025. Okay. An ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township to approve a tax exemption for a time period expiring on November 1st, 2055, and to authorize the execution of financial agreement between the city and Peak Lincoln Urban Renewal LLC, which was postponed from the January 6th council meeting. Are there any citizens who wish to speak on this ordinance?
Motion to,
Wait.
Yes.
yes.
I didn't know that.
Ms. Rodriguez, could you hold it for just a moment?
Yeah.
I had started to say motion, so do I need to unmotion, or she's good? Okay.
Alicia Rodriguez, 47 Mountain View. I guess my question for this, I've been thinking about it a little bit more the past week or so since our last meeting. I know there's a current concern for residents whose rents may go up if they lose this tax abatement. And I guess maybe, or rent control, whatever it is. But if we take into consideration, that's no different for taxpayers. Every year our mortgages go up because of tax increases. So BA, how do you protect the homeowners from this continued tax abatement? Or explain the benefit of this for us, considering our taxes go up every year, yet these people that are renting get to keep their same low-income housing, for lack of a better word, and we probably make the same amount of money they do.
No, you don't.
Well, I do.
Low income?
These are low-income
Low income,
apartments.
it goes by their salary.
What's low
The-
income? I mean, in
What's low
general,
income?
the question still stands.
20% of median income for the area
So like 30 grand,
or less.
20, okay, my income. So my question is, still is, like, how does us extending this current abatement help homeowners with our taxes?
Well, number one, it preserves low and moderate income housing that's been here for 35 years.
Don't we currently,
more.
do we currently meet our quota for low-income housing?
We do.
And
And
if
that's
I'm not
part
mistaken,
of the amount, that's part of the calculation. This building
how
is part
many
of that
units
calculation.
is that?
Pardon me?
How many units are in this building?
53, I think.
53, okay. And then, don't we have low-income housing incoming? There's over 1,000 apartment buildings we approved last year. Do any of those have low-income housing?
No.
So if we were to lose these 55, we'd be below the
You wouldn't
threshold?
be below the threshold. You're far in excess of the threshold in terms of what you have.
Sorry, I don't understand that.
So the Council on Affordable Housing publishes numbers. They did their last round of publication in 2024, and the city has more than what the allocation would be
That's
existing
required.
already.
So then, same question, maybe I wasn't understanding. We're over the allotted that we needed. If we were to lose this 55, would we be still in the quota, or would we be below it?
No, you'd still be above the quota.
So even though we would still be in the quota, we're gonna extend another 30 years for a building that's already built, just so we can have even more low-income housing?
Just so we can
Not to meet
preserve
any
what's there.
requirements by the state or anything like that?
Just so we can preserve what's there.
Okay, thank you.
EA.
Anyone else?
Oh, you have somebody coming up? So, my question, just so I'm hearing it correctly, we know that we're above it, but even though that's the quota, we still, as a city, still need more. Like on
Correct.
paper, we're where we're supposed to be on paper.
Yeah,
But we
40,
still don't have enough for the residents that need
correct,
low-income housing.
Correct.
that's right,
Okay, so it's the need, not the want.
correct.
We're talking about, okay. I'm just making sure.
Okay. Anyone else? Can I get a motion to close citizens' comments?
Motion to close citizens' comments, Summers Johnson.
Second, Montague.
A motion to close citizens' comments was made by Councilwoman Jamie Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Weldon Montague III. On the motion, any questions?
I have something on the motion.
On the motion?
I just want to say for the people who live in that apartment building, who's lived in the city of Orange Township for over 30 years, I personally will be supporting, voting for that. I just cannot see or fathom not voting for that, discontinuing the pilot and displacing, was it 58 or 60 apartments and not knowing how many people live in each apartment. It's something that happens in cities like all the time. These people just happen to live in this apartment. They've lived there, well, not lived there, but the apartment has had a pallet for 30 years. The pallet is up, and for me, I couldn't fathom kicking those people out. So I'm in full support of this ordinance, and I just wanted to say that to
And
Congress.
Council President, if I
Councilman
could
Ross.
say a word, affordable housing is important, and you hear about it every day, not only in Orange, but all over. Affordable housing is necessary and needed, you know, for folks that can't afford market rate housing. And you hear, you know, every state, every city is talking about affordable housing is needed and necessary, and there's not enough affordable housing available. So, you know, I don't know why we have a problem in the city of Orange in affording affordable housing to folks that really need it. That's all I needed.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Yes, Council President.
Councilwoman Hilbert.
So, I like to kind of piggyback on, you know, what Councilwoman Summers is saying. You know, there's a difference between wants and needs, right? And we always have people moving in and out of our community. And you hear a lot of people saying, well, you know, I'm on a waiting list for housing and stuff like that. And so there's always going to be a need for additional units coming online. And I always preach that we should have it in every project we vote on, no matter what. You really shouldn't, I mean, it's like we're creating our own version of redlining, where we dictate where the affordable units are, what access do they have to the business districts, the train line, the transit area, you know. So I feel that every project should be diverse. And if we're not talking about low income, where it's the 20 to 30,000 annual salary, you know, there's other people who are like in the middle, you know, the people who are probably two paychecks or 3 paychecks to pay certain things. So when I look at this, I always ask myself, why 30? Where we see successful projects in other communities that have brought it down to 15, and they kind of staggered it out, and it became a little more creative in how they were preserving these units. At the end of the day, it's really about people and not drowning out their concerns to stay in Orange. They want to stay in Orange. A lot of those people in the building, however, they also want parking. So I just say this as their representative. I hope that, being that they're about to become peak development tenants, that they'll also have access to the parking structures that are going to be across the street. And hopefully that could be a part of the community benefit if we do have one that's going to be added to this MOU. Thank you.
Does anyone else have anything to say?
Okay. All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion adopted. Can I have a motion?
Motion, Summers Johnson.
Second, Ross.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Ross. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes?
And Council President Wooten.
Yes.
That's 6 yeas and 1 absent. This passes. We're going to move on to Resolution 30-2026, a resolution for the transfer of appropriation reserves. This was postponed from the January 6th meeting as well. Can I get a motion?
Motion Ross.
Second, Summers Johnson.
Motion by Councilman Ross, second by Councilwoman Summers Johnson. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Which ordinance?
Resolution 30-2026. It was under postponed resolutions.
Actually, I don't have that. Well, 30?
30-2026, WL.
Should be in the back.
Is right under 74, I think.
30-2026, well, let's transfer. Okay. Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes?
And Council President Wooten.
Yes.
Thank you. That's 6 yeas, 1 absent. This is approved. We will continue back to the where we were on our agenda. Please, thank you. If you get it for me. Thank you. Citizen comments on general issues and agenda items. Members of the public wishing to address the council may do so during this portion of the meeting. Speakers must sign their name on the comment sign-up sheet and approach the microphone when called upon. To allow maximum public involvement, each speaker is permitted 1 3-minute period to interact with the council and must provide his or her name and street address prior to beginning any remarks. Visual aids are not permitted. Speakers are reminded to be courteous and mindful of other individuals. Each person has the right to speak on any subject, but is responsible for abuse of that right. The city bears no liability for any comments made by the public and maintains discretion to remove any person engaging in obscene or disruptive conduct. The council will consider all comments and questions and will respond if and when appropriate, which may or may not be during this meeting.
Yes. Aisha Rodriguez, please approach the mic. How are you?
Alicia.
Alicia, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Give me a second. Good afternoon, good evening, guys. Alicia, 487 Mountain View Ave. Okay. Do we no, you guys already just answered this. Okay. How do you guys keep, this is just a continuation to my last thing. How do you guys keep any building in these tax abatements from doing the same thing Peak just did? This would be the precedent set that says if you have this tax program, after you finish paying it off and it's done, find a new investor to sell it to, then there's a vicious cycle of somebody else possibly doing this over and over again. If I could deduce that, I'm pretty sure anybody that has some business sense could too. Because if they know that, hey, Orange says they need the development, so you could probably get the same tax break as us if you just buy us out. So, invest for the 30 years, make your money, get out. That's kind of what it feels like to me. For Resolution 68, that's $625K. Was this property the property that went to court and couldn't get, because it couldn't get past the planning board? And was that the case? And if it is that payment of $625K for every year, or was that divided between the 5 years that, you're saying you're repaying this? With elections coming up, what is the protocol for residents to get information regarding people running? Will there be debates or dates for open discussion? Also, how can we go about changing the election from May to November? And how can you guys begin the process for that, given we can and will save a ton of money by doing this, and it's easier for people to campaign and residents to stay involved in November versus now? I also saw there's over 9 resolutions to contract 9 different people to cover different things related to law in Orange. Is this normal? Do we not have our own attorneys? And why are we spending so much on so many different lawyers? When are you guys planning to have the 2026 budget accomplished by this year? And then lastly, President Wooten said that, she's gonna sit here and advocate for these low-income renters, but who's advocating for these homeowners? I don't know about you, but $1,300 a month on property taxes, not being a part of the middle class, is pretty steep. And I didn't buy this house when I was making, your circumstances change for people. So just how I may have been a high-income earner then, things can change and now I'm not. So who's protecting me from the increases of water, tax, property? Like, it's a lot of increases for us. And all I'm hearing is concern for affordable housing for people that come and go.
You finish?
Council
Yeah.
Vice President, may I address the budget question?
Sure.
So the new deadline for the budgets are supposed to be introduced by the end of March or the first meeting in April. So that'll be our goal. We'll introduce the budget the first meeting in April.
Was that the goal last year too?
Yes, the deadline was the same.
Okay. But your goal this year is definitely to have it by March, April.
The first meeting in April.
Appreciate it.
So, once again, the low and moderate income housing tax pilot agreement corresponds to the length of time that the income controls apply to the property. So the mortgage that finances the property for the new owners is a New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency 30-year low and moderate income mortgage with income restrictions. You can't get those mortgages through the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency without a corresponding pilot. They just won't give it to you. So I can't explain it any more simply than that. In terms of $625,000 for Impress Date, it's not a property that went to the planning board. It deals with a bulk tax sale that was conducted in 2015. There were a number of issues as a result of the bulk tax sale. The city is getting in return for the money that we're paying a bunch of properties back that the city will turn around and sell. So I have to go back and look at the settlement agreement to see how many years the payments apply to, but that's what it's for. It's not for anything that went to the planning board. In terms of May to November elections, that's a legislative decision. Outside counsel, there are a couple reasons why you use outside counsel. One is conflicts, and conflicts can not only be for the attorneys, but for the people and entities that have been sued, in which case they would have to have their own attorney. Is there a lot of litigation? We get sued about as much as every other municipality gets sued. Plaintiffs' attorneys view municipalities as deep pockets, so they get sued a lot. He answered the budget, and I think that all of the council and the administration take into account at all times the impact on homeowners of the expenditures that they make or approve.
Does council members have any information about elections?
We don't handle it.
So,
Elections, any questions
on
about
the,
That's the
on the campaign issues, we can't address those.
Okay.
So
How could we get more information then?
I would speak to the individual candidates. There are organizations that run debates, but they're not run by the city.
Okay.
BA. I would also recommend going to the deputy clerk. She is the one that's helping the candidates with the election schedule and making sure that all candidates are actually certified to move forth with their campaigns.
So I could just ask them directly any questions.
Yes, the deputy clerk in the clerk's office on this floor. But as far as
Any question?
But I was about to clarify.
Fair questions.
Mainly for like who's the candidate, are they certified, and you know that only that part. But when it comes to the debates, those are really like the business administrators said they're ran by like outside parties, so we don't have control over that.
Fair enough. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Is this Kelly Ann Dard? I don't know the last name. Okay, I'm sorry, I was pretty close.
You have very pretty handwriting, but it's difficult to read.
Right. Good evening, how are you?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good evening.
A pleasant good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, Councilwoman,
State your
John-
name and
Oh,
address.
Kelly Ann Joseph and David Joseph, 660 Nassau Street. I always
Okay.
forget that part. Thank you, Councilwoman Johnson, President and the Board Council for the parking permit for 433, for Nassau Street. And while this is a great accomplishment, we still have an outstanding concern with the signs not being up there as of yet. So it's causing a bit of a confusion because we did get a ticket for parking in West Orange. And I guess the police officer assumed that we were in Orange because of where we parked.
It's been an ongoing matter for some time now, for years. And the only issue I have is just that when I park my vehicle in West Orange, to avoid the possible tickets from the Orange police, they still seem to drive past the border between of Orange. Our house on Nassau Street is the last house on that side in Orange. We're next door to a house that is West Orange. I purposely park my car in front of his house or sometimes further back because that's West Orange. So I recently got a ticket recently, so that was something that we was talking about, because if these tickets or these signs are gonna come up saying permit parking, we wanna establish maybe a border between Orange and West Orange, maybe a sign so a cop would know, can't go there. Several cops have done it over and over, and I paid some tickets and I fought some tickets. I'm fighting this one. But yeah, it's annoying, and it's annoying court date and time that you have to develop with that. So we just wanted to address that issue.
So we're just wondering if is there a timestamp on getting those signs up to avoid conflict, and perhaps some education to our servicemen and women to let them know like where the boundaries are for Orange and West Orange. That's number one. Number two is I want to thank Councilwoman Hilbert for coming out to 433 Lincoln Avenue. And I'm sure that you have heard and saw the critical issues that are there. And while it was determined that the boiler was, or the heating was fixed yesterday, it's a mask. It goes off and on. And so there are holes, if you go down to the basement, that system needs to be removed because it's old. There are holes, there are leakage, and there are other issues at the bottom. So if they say, if the heat goes out, the heat comes back on, but it's not long-term. And I was here when the updates were going on, and I do appreciate the feedback, but I really want to push the pedal on this because it's critical. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
The signs have been ordered, and the neighborhood is gonna be leafleted again
Okay.
for permit parking so that everybody knows.
Okay.
I'll take up with the chief the issue of the tickets. Just to be clear, you were parked in West Orange and you got a
Yes.
ticket from an Orange
Yeah.
police
You
officer?
can't tell,
Yes.
You can't tell the
nothing that
difference.
says
Delineation?
They are the last house, and then
Okay.
there's a house next to them, and then there's a dispensary.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it's
On that side of the street?
on that side of the street. You have no way of knowing, except for, you can't even look at, sometimes you can look at the street to tell when we paved and they haven't, or they paved and we haven't. You can't even see.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
parked at 660 Nassau Street. That's not parked, but that's our house.
right.
Our next door neighbor is 2 Nassau Street, West Orange.
What
He's the
what
only
address
house.
is on the ticket?
The address on the ticket actually says,
South Valley.
South Valley Road.
Okay. South Valley Road?
That's
Yeah.
actually in West Orange.
Right.
And I'm parked on 2 Nassau Street. And
Oh,
he got it all mixed up. So this ticket, I
Yeah,
am.
go fight that. I'm just
But
saying.
there should be a border where it can display, this is West Orange
Yeah.
and.
This is
Yeah,
orange.
We'll put a permit sign with an arrow.
Thank you.
Don't hide, don't hide.
I want to go back,
He's like-
I want to go back to the heat.
Okay,
This is a much more complicated problem than I thought at the last meeting because of the way the building is owned.
okay,
You have approximately 33 of the units are owned by one company, but they're still condo units.
mm-hmm,
So I can't just get into any unit there. I have to have permission from whoever is renting the unit from the owner,
okay.
so that I can address some of those other issues.
So the sub apartments, so basically you need some assistance.
Yeah, I need to know from a renter, right? I need to be able to get into their apartment.
you
I
give
can-
them your
I can
email
assist.
address? That's what I'm saying. Can you give your email address, because she's in
Yes.
contact with them?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
assist with that if you need
Okay.
to get in.
Yes,
Okay,
because then we can get all of our inspectors in,
okay,
and really get at what's going on in the individual apartments.
okay.
All right?
I can assist with that.
I'm addressing the heat issue. I spoke with them today. They're telling me they put in an NTAC system. They didn't put in an NTAC system
No.
with an old boiler. So, we'll address that too.
And I know my minutes are over, but also the elevator is broken. And the emergency button is not working, and lots of tenants get stuck in there.
I was stuck in there today.
So I don't know if we need to, I don't know if it's linked to the fire department or if it's out
Part
of
the
code.
inspection.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ms. Gloria Bozeman?
Gloria Bozeman, 345 Alcott Street. Many times people will ask me why I come continually and whether or not I'm crazy, and don't I understand Einstein's position that if you continue to ask or do the same thing and expect a different outcome, then you're crazy. I'm not crazy. I know the outcome. I know exactly when I come to the podium whether or not there'll be response or no response. My college roommate calls me often and asks me when I'm going to run. I tell her never. And the reason I'm not going to run is because one vote can't change anything. It has to be a change with regard to the entire perspective. I also remind her that our college friend and late Honorable Elijah Cummings had said to me one time, Gloria, sometimes you run because you want to win, and sometimes you run because you just want to raise awareness. So I come to this podium many times just to raise awareness. So where was that awareness or that concern? Because I'm not as concerned about the low-income advantage. I am concerned about pilots getting 30 years. I'm always concerned about that because you have to offer a pilot, but it doesn't have to be 30 years. I think we're clear on that. But where was that concern about affordable housing when you were letting all the new developments go up? Where was all that concern about low-income residents and making certain they could maintain themselves in this community with all the new developments going up? I'm interested in knowing about that trust fund that they have contributed to impact the quality of life of individuals in the city of Orange. I'm interested in knowing what the city council's plan is for that, because you're the individuals who can drive that. I'm also wondering whether or not you can consider establishing a local advisory committee to assist, because I believe as residents we should have some input with regard to how that money might be spent, since it's going to directly affect my quality of life. It will already affect my taxes, as everybody says, well, your property value goes up. Well, as your property value goes up, so do your taxes go up, and so people need to be aware of that. I am very concerned that all of the lawyers that we have identified, including Hartsfield Sports, is going to get at least well, I won't know what they'll get because it's just a cap, but it's over $160,000, and that's in addition to the $20,000 that we pay them as special counsels. So I'm very confused by that. Finally, I just want to say I have no reason to really oppose this, but 622026, those individuals who are identified in that, are they not in a union? And doesn't the union have some opportunity to offer and I'm really asking this as a general area of information. I've been in unions, and my union has covered us when we have come into conflict or have been involved in litigation. So I'm wondering why these particular individuals, maybe they're not in a union, maybe I just don't understand. But those are my questions. I am going to always ask you, to what benefit these new developments, to what impact on the quality of life, and how are you allowing for citizens to have some input? I went to the meetings on the Orange proposal, the Hospital Center of Orange proposal. I went to those meetings. I'm just wondering, did anything change as a result of the meetings that we had and the recommendations that the community offered?
So, with respect to Resolution 62, there's a state statute that requires a municipality to defend a police officer in connection with lawsuits that are filed against the police officer and the police department. There's also a collective bargaining agreement which requires the same thing. So the union doesn't have any obligation unless the conduct of the employee is outside the scope of their employment. And then once they're involved in litigation of that nature, then the union may step in, they may not step in. But the municipality has an obligation under the state statute and the collective bargaining agreement to defend all police officers involved in litigation that arises within the scope of their employment. With respect to the hospital site, the comments that were received during the public meetings, as well as the project itself, is still undergoing a consideration, if you will. There is a financial application pending, and there's an application that's going to be filed for Aspire money. The application that would be filed for Aspire money comes with certain conditions that would include additional public input. And I think the developer heard some of the comments and will try to incorporate them. He heard all of the comments, but he will take some of those comments and try to incorporate them into his plan. There's a difference between preserving low and moderate income housing that already exists and going out of your way to add low and moderate income housing to a community that already has a significant amount of low and moderate income housing. And that's calculus that the governing body with the administration undertakes. So to your question, they're really two different things. And it's not that there was no consideration to low and moderate income housing. In fact, in the new developments, in fact, there are 2 developments coming before the council that are new developments that are 100% low and moderate income housing. And they will be before the council within the next quarter of the year.
I hope to be here to speak to that. The other question was the local advisory board, regarding the quality of life
I can't
monies
address
that we received,
You mean the community benefit money that's in a trust?
the one that's in the trust.
So I can't speak to the advisory committee. It's not required. And the council has full authority over how those funds are spent. They have to have those discussions in public, and they have to act in public.
Well, that's what I was asking. I was asking for the council to consider a community advisory board, particularly as it relates to the expenditures from that trust fund.
Thank you.
Council Vice President. Council Vice President.
Yes.
Hi. I don't want to say too much, but I do want to just state this to my council colleagues in regards to what Dr. Bozen mentioned. There is something called a participatory budget committee that other municipalities are taking advantage of, where they're able to create a steering committee of residents and stakeholders in the community. And we as a council could put aside, allocate some funding for the residents to spend on their projects of choice. So I think that's something that we could all start looking into and educate ourselves on if we really want to utilize the trust in the best way possible.
Thank you so much.
Those communities that are using that process are doing it under the Aspire statute, which is a requirement. It's not a requirement anywhere else other than in the Aspire statute for the expenditure of Aspire money. So if the project at the hospital ends up being financed, at least in part, by Aspire money, that entire process will have to be followed.
Thank you for clarifying. Actually, BA, can we get a list of the most recent projects that do have that funding?
Yeah, I can just pull it off the website of the Economic Development Authority.
Thank you.
Motion to close citizens' comments.
Second, Montague.
Motion to close citizens' comments was made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson and second by Council Vice President Montague III. All those in favor vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
On the motion?
On the motion?
Yes. Was there anybody else that wanted to speak in regards to what was going on with 433 Lincoln?
But they can't speak if they didn't sign up on the sign-in sheet. This is closing citizens' comments.
Are we able to suspend the rules to hear from a resident who does live in that apartment and could probably add more?
But we're on the motion. City Attorney?
What's the question?
We're on a motion, and she wants to suspend the rules to hear from someone who didn't sign up on the sign-up sheet.
Not on the motion, no.
Well, it was a motion to not close citizens' comments.
There's a motion to close citizen comments, isn't there?
Yes.
Right.
And it was properly seconded, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Can she give her information to you?
Yeah, she can give her information to me.
I didn't hear you.
I was saying she can give her information to him since he needs to speak with a resident in order to inspect.
I'm happy to talk to her.
But we're on the motion, right?
Yeah.
So once we finish the motion, we can get that information.
Okay.
All those in favor vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is adopted. Ma'am, after the meeting, we can talk.
No, it wasn't, ma'am. It was to
No, the
close
motion was to
citizens'
close citizens' comments.
No, I made a motion. That's,
After
but
the motion to close citizens' comments.
Right, and you can't make a motion.
But it didn't
when there's a
say-
motion on the floor.
wait a minute. We didn't say on the motion. Somebody just made a motion to close, and then you guys did a second. But I said on the motion, so before we did a vote.
You can't make another motion while there's a motion pending on the floor. On the motion does not give you the right to make another motion while a motion is pending.
So if I say no, and then I say on the motion, that still doesn't allow me to stop the vote for closing citizens' comments.
No.
No, ma'am.
All right, I yield, but I'm just making it very clear the resident was here, and she didn't know she had to speak. I mean, she didn't know she had to sign in to speak.
Okay. Thank you. Council comments?
Council comments. Let's start with Councilman Ross.
Thank you, Councilman, Vice President. I'm glad to see you back, feeling healthy and looking good.
Thank
You
you.
was missed. Through you to the business administrator. I heard the Niall said that the budget will be introduced the first meeting in April. But me and you had some
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, okay. Me and you had some conversations regarding the Board of Education on areas where collaboration may help ease some of the city's financial pressures. Have you had a conversation with the Board of Ed at this time?
About some of those items, there's an ongoing conversation, but I didn't reach out to the Board of Ed today after your email from the weekend to set up a meeting, no.
Okay. You will follow up though, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I see work has finally begun at the Highland Avenue train station. Can you give me a brief update regarding the work that has recently commenced and share what the scope of this project includes, what the finished project will look like once completed, and the anticipated timeline for completion?
You want that now?
If you can briefly.
So the work that's being conducted now is remediation, environmental remediation. It has to be completed before the construction can start. The construction is a complete rehabilitation of the interior and portions of the exterior of the building, consistent with historic preservation regulations. The interior of the building, once the project is completed, will be open to the public and for commuters. It'll also be heated, so it'll be able to be used throughout the year. There is some space within the train station that will provide the opportunity for commercial operation. That would have to be leased out. We'd have to wait until the project is complete in order to enter into that phase of the project.
Okay.
So, in terms of how it's going to look, the exterior structure of the building cannot change because of the historic preservation regulations. However, it will be updated, cleaned up, modified to the extent that it needs to be in terms of broken windows, doors, roofing, etc.
Okay.
So all of that will be repaired.
Will there be any additional parking here?
No.
Anywhere? No? Okay. All right, thank you. I just want to follow up on a recent conversation regarding the new development, Leah on Scotland Road. As this building is about to fill up, you know, there's growing concerns about traffic safety, particularly with the vehicles making left turns in and out of the parking garage. And we talked about putting no left turn signs and or barriers up there. Has there been any further discussions?
So I went back and looked at the planning board approvals and the traffic site circulations, and none of that was included under the approvals that were granted by the planning board, which they could have been.
And should have been.
I
Go
can
ahead.
only say could have.
Okay.
But I spoke to Marty, and we've spoken to the engineer, and we want him to go out and do some observation, take some pictures, and give us some recommendations.
Okay. All right. well,
It's also complicated by the fact that it's a county road.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they need to be included in the,
I told them to contact the county engineer.
okay, thank you. I just want to commend DPW for the outstanding job that they did during the past and recent snowstorms. Understand we're gonna have a big snowstorm this weekend, so I'm confident that DPW will be well prepared to keep the residents safe and our roads clear. And finally, as we reflected yesterday on the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I want to take a moment to read two of his most powerful quotes. Dr. King taught us that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. As leaders and as neighbors in the city of Orange, we are called to lead with light, with respect, and with love for this community. When we work together, we build a stronger, safer, and more hopeful Orange for everyone. Secondly, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said that the time is always right to do what is right. Today, that means choosing collaboration over conflict, unity over division, and progress over politics. Let us recommit ourselves, council and community alike, to working together to make the city of Orange a place where everyone can live, grow, and thrive. And we shall overcome. Thank you, Council Vice President.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Councilman Coley.
Councilman Vice President, it's good to see you, man.
Thank you.
You know, I'm glad you're back with us, doing what you do. Mr. B.A., we are early on in this winter season when it comes to snow. And on Main Street, where we had that little pit where the old Masonic Temple burnt down between Canfield and Center. They are neglecting taking care of the sidewalk. If you can just make sure that they put that on things to do list during a snowstorm, I appreciate it. And the development on South Main by Prince Street, they have been doing a pretty good job keeping the mud out the street. I thank you for that. And we passed out that resolution last meeting before last for the parking meters. When do you think they're going to get started with the installation?
That resolution allowed us to go forward to order them.
Okay.
So I don't know how long the order's going to take to fulfill.
Okay.
I can find out and report back at the next meeting.
All right. Good. Thank you. And our county rep isn't here, and I meant to reach out to him, but I didn't. But I just want to put it on the record that the new community center on Oakwood Avenue is a great resource. And when the project came online, it took away, some parking spaces on Oakwood Avenue, that was needed during the day for the nurses and the home health aides that come in and service the residents at 268 and 300 Oakwood Avenue. I just want to start pitching the idea during the day, business hours, when the nurses and the home health aides come in, when the park and when the facility is available, when there's no events, they could use the parking space there, so they could park in peace and take care of the residents in those two buildings. I don't think that's a big ask, but we just need to begin to have those conversations with the county, so when those folks come in to provide those services, they can park and do what they need to do by taking care of the residents. And I had something else, but I can't remember. I said, thank you, Council Vice President.
Thank you. First of all, Councilwoman Hilbert, my condolences. Okay?
Yes.
Number one.
Thank you so much.
You're up.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I want to say first and foremost, thank you for your prayers. I also want to say congratulations to the newly promoted captains and sergeants with our fire and police department. It was a promotion that was much deserved to a lot of men and women in service here in the great city of Orange, and it was great to see them with their family members step up in the ranks with much esteem and integrity and honor. So it was a great experience of mine. I don't think I've ever seen one that they all came together. It was just a great public safety ceremony. I don't know if anybody remembers that when I became a councilwoman, it was still during like the pandemic time. So we weren't able to do a whole lot of things in person. And we have to remind ourselves that we have to take advantage every time we can to say thank you, show gratitude, and to check in on people and our loved ones. I will be speaking with you soon, ma'am. Thank you for coming out. I want to shift gears a little bit and also say I had a great time recognizing the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. this past weekend. There was a peaceful march down in Newark where we were joined by other elected officials in the community and advocates. We're still waiting to hear back. I haven't heard of anything if the former governor, Phil Murphy, had signed off on any of the immigration protections. And congratulations to our new governor, Governor Mikey Sherrill. So hopefully we will continue to see more progress and more improvement that's going to protect all of our communities, advance our businesses, continue to preach and educate on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that we are seeing a turn and some benefits here locally that we can actually extend to all of our constituents here. In regards to what's on the agenda tonight, I think I already spoke mainly what I was interested in, and hopefully the business administrator will indulge me with more information later on after this. In regards to our community meetings for the West Ward, I did postpone our West Ward meeting due to a family loss that I had this week. So I actually have like 2 funerals to go to this week. And we will be releasing an update schedule for the West Ward pretty soon. So just bear with me and be patient with me as you guys always are. I love you guys, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Last but not least,
Thank you, Council Vice President. I wrote my stuff down. I'm pulling a Ross. I'm pulling a Ross, just so I don't forget anything. So good evening, awesome job to the residents that are keeping the Dr. King luminary tradition alive. The pictures were awesome. Thank you to South Ward resident Meredith Sue Willis for bringing the tradition to Orange from South Orange. Residents, I've been going around because Christmas and New Year's Eve both fell on, I want to say like Wednesday, Thursday. It threw off the recycling. So I've been knocking on doors because they had out the wrong thing and letting them know to put Recycle Coach app on their phone because it's phenomenal. It texts you the day before to tell you exactly what to put out. So I've been handing out flyers with the Recycle Coach app on it. I just want to quickly spotlight a student, Dashler. He's a student at Orange Preparatory Academy. He attended an oratorical competition by the Brothers of Alpha, Phi Alpha at NJIT. He came in runner-up, and he received a laptop, a check. He didn't tell me how much. I need to check on that. And he also received a certificate from Commissioner Dorian. So I have a question. Some of the residents started talking about it as though they were looking at my notes, so I don't want to sound redundant, but I just want you to, if you can, BA, explain the process that the council must follow to spend the community benefits money.
So they would get a report from the administration on how much money is available in the trust fund. They might get recommendations or ideas from the administration, but the process is that the council then has public discussion over what projects they would like to fund or not fund. And there's no absence, there's there's no shortage of projects.
Okay.
So it's ultimately a council decision by resolution.
Awesome. With that being said, like Dr. Bozeman was talking about, I didn't have like a committee, but residents did reach out via email and telephone on how they wanted to see it spent in the South Ward. So I just wanted to put it out there on the record so they know, one, that I heard them, two, that I'm just putting some ideas out there, like for the whole council, for the various wards. So received an email, and I'm not sure if this has already been started and if it would come out of community benefits, but the email about the Welcome to Orange signs, I know we've been talking about this for years. East Orange just put theirs up, the green with the emerald green with the gold saying Welcome to Orange, and also the same for the Neighborhood Watch. Not on every border, but it definitely the main borders. I just think it's inviting, and it lets people know that they are entering our city. On Scotland Road, benches and planters that also are welcoming residents to the Arts District. The underpaths, I've been talking about this forever, because I go to other towns, Hoboken, Bayonne, and they have the students and the community paint the underpass. And I just think when you do that, you get less graffiti because someone's kid painted it and they'll protect it with their life. So I just think that would be an awesome community project, because I'm the South Ward Councilwoman, I represent the Arts District, but if you go in the Valley, the only art you'll see is the PSE&G phenomenal changing station, and the artwork on the storage unit that I partnered with the city to pay for in Metcalf Park that says Metcalf. But it doesn't scream art district, so I would definitely want to spend money down there. And now that Claremont Terrace is gonna have a traffic study, now they're asking for some sort of gate or something that could be opened and closed for an emergency, because originally we talked about planters, but then there's a fireman that lives on the street, not an orange fireman, but there's a fireman, and he was just suggesting that we do something similar to the gates next door, that in an emergency, a fire truck would get in there, and that it would not add time to an emergency having to go all the way up Tremont and come down. And then my last concerns are code enforcement concerns that I just want to put on the record so residents know these houses are on the radar. I'll be really quick. The Elmwood Drive property. I've been talking about this property since I've been a council person. I know that the city has cleaned this property up month after month after month, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, how many liens does a property need? I looked it up. I know it's like really extensive to try to take a property. It's like the last resort. But I'm wondering, like, are fines so low that they just pay the fine and go on about their life? I know if I got a fine, I don't care if it was $5, it would be $5 too much. So I'm wondering why they just continue to pay the fines, or are they paying fines? Like, I need an update so I can share with that area. Also, the yellow house on Berkeley Avenue that faces Berkeley Road, they cut down a whole bunch of trees. They acted as though they were about to fix the house up, and now it's back an eyesore, getting a lot of complaints on that. And the last one is on Haywood Avenue. There's a tractor right 2 doors down from Haywood Avenue School. It has a ticket on it, so I know we're on it, but I'm wondering, it's like they just keep the ticket there. So it's like, you know, you go out, you see everyone has tickets. The next time you go out, you just put that same ticket on, so they ignore you. That's what it looks like. It looks like because he has a ticket, he's not getting an additional ticket. Right. So his house is an eyesore. Students have to walk past that house every day to and from. And I just feel like he either needs to remove the tractor or he needs to be fined, because there are houses that are for sale across the street that they're not going to be able to sell with that huge tractor. So those are my concerns. And thank you, Ross, for your Dr. Martin Luther King. Today I had an awesome day in school teaching my students about our new governor, Mikey Sherrill, about her being the second woman, about her hosting it in Newark, New Jersey. I explained to them how you open up her cabinet and you see very colorful people, that those people could actually be them, and, you know, seeing black people and brown people, and it was exciting for her to host it in the city of Newark. So praying for good things to come. Thank you, Council Vice President.
Thank you so much. Yes,
Do you mind if I address the Elmwood Drive property?
sure.
So the Elmwood Drive property,
Yes, sir.
not only do they pay the fines, they pay their taxes.
I know.
On time.
I know.
They don't live in the country.
I know.
Pardon?
In the country?
Yeah,
in
they
the country.
don't.
They're very difficult to get a hold of, but they have listed the property with a broker.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Because I know it read you can't take the property. I don't want to sound like a lawyer, but something about you can't take the property like if they're still if you're still in contact, if they're still answering and correspond. Like I was trying because I was like, it's Spaces Orange Park. It's like at the welcome of Seven Oaks, and it's such a scary place. Like the kids call it like a haunted house.
It looks like the Addams family house.
And they don't even know who that is, but yes, it looks like the Addams family.
And the same with the house on Berkeley.
Yes, the same. Yes, exactly. It's very dark. I just feel like, you know, as it gets dark at 4:30, our kids are walking home from school, and that's just like a perfect area for one of our kids. You know, so that's why.
Okay.
So as long as they're on our radar, I just wanna. I'm probably gonna send you all. I'm send you this in an email because I want to drop so they know we're on it and what the update is for that area.
All right, and on Claremont, we actually had a discussion today about those type of gates.
Okay, you did?
Yeah.
Good. That's my lucky day. See? All right, thank you.
I'm gonna be,
Council
yes.
Vice, can I just say something real quick? This is just one of my ideas regarding that property. I think I forgot who I shared it with, but I don't know if at some point in time, the city will be in the position to, I don't know, even purchase the property. The way the county revitalizes certain properties and make them profitable. I don't know if it's something that we could do. City could take that property and call it Orange at the Park. It could be some kind of, it could be renovated into some type of useful community space, you know, that we can rent out and make beautiful. You know, I don't know if that's something that we could do, but it's just an idea. Bed and breakfast, a place where people can have exquisite events. Just something, you know, rather than the property just being sitting in shambles. It's a beautiful, beautiful landscape once it's cleaned up. You know, I met the guy, you know, many years ago. They lived in, they lived there during the summertime and moved during the wintertime, and then now they're just out of it completely. You know, but if we get that property, it's a beautiful, beautiful property once it's renovated. Just an idea. I apologize.
Thank you.
for the time.
I'm gonna be brief.
Welcome back.
Thank you. And thank you for all your well wishes, prayers. I really appreciated it. And I'm back. Thank God.
Amen. Amen.
Um, First of all, what's the status of the rec center? You know I was mad.
See, I moved the mic
As soon as
already.
he walked back in, you know
Yes,
he's gonna ask.
you know I asked that.
We know you're gonna
Yes.
ask. You need a shirt that says, what's up
Yeah,
with the rec
what's up with the
center?"
rec center?
So we were hoping to have the agreement on tonight's agenda. We got the revised draft from the developer, and there are still some issues that we need to meet about. I got an email today from the attorney for the developer that was copied to our attorney and to me, indicating that they think we can get through those issues relatively quickly and to try and set up a Teams call. So they're waiting on me for my availability for a Teams call later this week or the beginning of next week.
Okay. Parking utility, where are we at?
We're in great shape. We're ready to move forward on some enforcement officers. We have completed the survey of order streets and parking permits and regulations with regard to those streets. There's an ordinance that we were working on, and then Councilman Ross gave us a draft of an ordinance, so the two were being combined. And that ordinance will be presented to the council, I'm assuming within the next month.
Yes.
So the budget is set up. There are some issues or discussions I have to have with some council people and the administration regarding fees and what we're going to charge for different things. And then there's the issue of whether or not we're going to do an ordinance to split the revenue on tickets that are written by the enforcement officers between the utility and the city. I think it's a good idea to split that revenue that the enforcement officers write, because it gives them an incentive and us an incentive to actually run the utility aggressively.
How many
And
employees?
and if there's extra money at the end of the budget year for the utility, it's just gonna come back to the municipality anyway.
Okay. As far as employees, how many employees are we gonna use?
So you're gonna have a part-time manager, who's a city employee already, who get a stipend. And then you're gonna have to have one full-time employee. I'll probably take that full-time employee from Public Works and transfer them to the utility. And then you'll have 3 to 5 part-time enforcement officers. So
24
that-
hours, correct?
So that you would have 24-hour coverage.
Are they all gonna be Orange, New Jersey residents?
We've advertised all over Orange. We advertised on websites and newspapers. We advertised in the League of Municipalities website. We got a bunch of resumes. There were not a lot of Orange residents that applied. We did some interviews. I have not sat down with the human resources people and the utility people that did the interviews, so I don't know who their final candidates are yet.
Do we have, how much do we have in our community benefits, approximately?
2.7 million?
2.7 million?
Yes, sir.
How much is outstanding?
I'll have to get back to you.
But there is outstanding, correct?
When you say outstanding, there are fees, there are money to be paid to us, but they might not have met their stipulations. So that's technically not outstanding, but there's still money to be paid once they meet their criteria. So whether it's their CO or, you know, a certain percentage of their occupancy, each agreement has a different standard.
Thank you so much now. Let's go.
Okay. Ordinance on second reading. An ordinance to amend the supplement Chapter 201 of the City of Orange Township Code, currently titled Volleyball Courts, and now be, sorry.
Your time is up,
And now be titled Sport Courts Fields. Are there any citizens who wish to comment? Is there a motion to close?
Motion to close citizens' comments, Summers Johnson.
Second, Montague.
Motion to close citizens' comments was made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, all those in favor vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion adopted. Motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt Ross.
Second.
Coley.
Coley.
Motion to adopt by Councilman Ross, second by Councilman Coley. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Abstain.
Councilman Montague?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 4 yeas, 1 abstain, and 1 absent. This is approved. Let's move on to there are no introduction, first reading ordinances. Consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Is there anyone who wishes to remove something from the consent agenda?
I'd like to remove 39-2026 for a separate vote.
Anyone else? Remember 46-2026 was amended at the conference meeting, and 56-2026 was also amended. And as amended, it will stay on the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists. Oh, wait a minute, let me double check. Hold on, one sec. One second, I'm sorry, Councilman. Yes, he did. No, it wasn't to be postponed. That was 53-2025. Thank you, though. Okay, the consent agenda consists of 35, 36, 37, 38, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, and 69. Is there a motion?
Motion Coley.
Second, Montague.
Motion by Councilman Coley, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 2 absences and 5 yeas. The consent agenda has been adopted. Removed from the consent agenda is Resolution 39-2026, a resolution honoring Fakhar Spence in recognition of Muslim Heritage Month, sponsored by Councilwoman Quantavia L. Hilbert. I was looking at you.
Wait, no, and I'm leaning, I was like, wait. I was trying to say the name. I was like, fire.
I do apologize for messing his name up, but
It's all right. We're going to bring it back. We
yes.
got it.
Is there a motion?
Motion, Summers Johnson?
Second, Montague.
On this motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion?
On the motion. So I did want to acknowledge this young man. He is a West Ward resident, and in light of celebrating Muslim Heritage Month, Fakhar Spence is a lifelong resident, an Orange resident, an Orange guy. I always hear people say Orange girls, but I don't know if you guys got a term for Orange
Right.
guy, fella, homie. I don't know what it is, but he is born and raised in the city of Orange. He's also married and raises his kids here in the city of Orange. He's an entrepreneur, great young guy that's working with the youth and the college students with AI and technology. And so I just wanted to give him some great recognition and motivation to continue doing what he's doing. I think it's amazing when people from my generation are stepping up and answering the call to bridge the gap between all generations and making sure that we're educating the next generation of leaders. So thank you so much.
Anyone else on the motion? Roll call. Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague III.
Yes.
Councilman Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. So that's 2 absence, 5 yeas. This motion has been adopted. New business and walk-ons. So we have 4 walk-ons. I'll read them into the record. Resolution 70-2026 WO, a resolution honoring and commemorating the life and legacy of Winston Bateman Knight, sponsored by the City of Orange Township Municipal Council. Resolution 71-2026 WO, a resolution celebrating the life and legacy of Ronald Wesley Moselle Sr., sponsored by the City of Orange Township Municipal Council. Resolution 72-2026 WO, a resolution authorizing the purchase of mineral rock salt for the Department of Public Works through Essex County Cooperative Purchasing number 23-223 for the winter season, January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2026, from Morton Salt, 444 West Lake Street, Suite 3000, Chicago, Illinois, 60606, in the amount not to exceed $50,000 over the term of the agreement. Resolution 73-2026 WO, a resolution authorizing a contract to Barnwell House of Tires Incorporated to purchase various models and sizes of tires via catalog discount for automotive light truck and medium fleet vehicles under the Essex County Co-op 24-174 commencing January 1, 2026 through October 11, 2026 in an amount not to exceed $35,000. Can I get a motion to walk on Resolution 70, 71, 72, and 73, 2026?
Motion to walk on.
Second, Summers Johnson.
Motion to walk on Resolutions 70, 71, 72, and 73, 2026 was made by Councilwoman Hilbert, second by Councilwoman Summers Johnson. On the motion, roll call, Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague III.
Yes.
Councilman Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 2 absence and 5 yeas. This is adopted. These resolutions have been walked on. Resolution 70-2026, a resolution honoring and commemorating the life and legacy of Winston Bateman Knight, sponsored by the City of Orange Township Municipal Council. Is there a motion?
Motion, Summers Johnson.
Second, Montague.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's two absences and 5 yeas. This has been adopted. Resolution 71-2026 walk on, a resolution celebrating the life and legacy of Ronald Wesley Moselle Sr., sponsored by the City of Orange Township Municipal Council. Is there a motion?
Motion, Summers Johnson.
Second, Montague.
This is motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson and second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, roll call, Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague III.
Yes.
Councilman Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 2 yeas and 5 yeas. This has been approved. Resolution 72-2026 WO, a resolution authorizing the purchase of mineral rock salt for the Department of Public Works through Essex County Cooperative Purchasing number 23-223 for the winter season, January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2026 from Morton Salt, 4044 West Lake Street, Suite 3000, Chicago, Illinois, 60606, and the amount not to exceed $50,000 over the term of the agreement. Is there a motion?
Motion Coley.
Second, Montague.
Motion by Councilman Coley, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, roll call, Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague III.
Yes.
Councilman Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 2 absence and 5 yeas. This has been adopted. Resolution 73-2026, a resolution authorizing a contractor to Barnwell House of Tires Incorporated to purchase various models and sizes of tires via catalog discount for automotive, light truck, and medium fleet vehicles under the Essex County Co-op number 24-174, commencing January 1, 2026 through October 11, 2026, an amount not to exceed $35,000. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second, Ross.
Motion by Councilman Montague III, second by Councilman Ross. On the motion, roll call, Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague III.
Yes.
Councilman Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 2 absence and 5 yeas. This has been approved. Postpone ordinances. Ordinance 53-2025, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 200-33, entitled Schedule to no parking certain hours, Central Avenue, sponsored by Councilmember Kerry Coley. And the advisement is to postpone until the February 17th meeting. Is there a motion to postpone?
Motion to postpone, Summers Johnson.
Second, Montague.
Motion to postpone by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
And Council President Wooten is absent. That's 2 absence and 5 yeas. This is postponed to the February 17th meeting. Ordinance 70-2025, an ordinance to amend the Code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 200-52-1, Handicap Parking Spaces, 576 Langdon Street. The recommendation is to postpone until the February 3rd meeting. Is there a motion to postpone?
Motion to postpone, Summers
Second,
Johnson.
Montague.
Motion to postpone was made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague III.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 2 absence and 5 yeas. This motion is passed. Ordinance 72-2025, an ordinance to amend Section 200-32, no parking, and Section 200-42, Scheduled 11, loading zones of the City of Orange Township City Code. This is also recommended to be postponed to the February 3rd meeting. Is there a motion to postpone?
Motion to postpone, Summers
Sec-
Johnson.
Second,
Motion to postpone was made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague
Yes.
III, Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
and Council President Wooten is absent. That is 2 absence and 5 yeas. This is passed. Postpone resolution 510-2025, a resolution expressing the intent of the municipal council to the City of Orange Township to implement a municipal fleet ordinance pursuant to the attached proposed ordinance and establishing a timeline for full implementation by July 2026. Legislative sponsor by Council President Adrian Wooten. Legislative supporters, Council Vice President Weldon Montague III, East Ward Council Member Kerry Coley, and South Ward Council Member Jamie Summers Johnson. Is there a motion?
Motion, Summers Johnson.
second, Montague.
On the motion,
On the motion. Council Vice President, why does this read this way? Why does it not just say the municipal council?
That's what I would say.
No, is this the one? y'all
this was
okay.
presented by Council President.
No, but is this the
and-
one when she said she reached out or
Oh, she
whatever?
reached out to everyone.
So maybe
Correct.
you missed the text, and then somebody recommended to write the council, so,
Not on this one.
not on this one?
Not on this
Oh,
one.
okay, I thought it was something.
It was never mentioned to change that one.
Oh, okay, okay. I know it was something, and we said.
So
put
do you want
council.
to
I don't
amend
know.
it?
So that I don't know.
So I never received a text or an email, and an email is more professional and more formal. So I would like to support this. I would like to see it say municipal council.
Makes sense.
postponed, right?
She didn't say that.
No, fine.
It's
Stay in
supposed to
post-
stay postponed.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
it's postponed.
So we need you to retract your,
We can
Motion.
retract it, but can we also do a recommendation or no?
we can do the recommendation so that when it comes back. So
So
let's retract the motion
I retract
first.
the motion.
Okay,
I retract my motion.
okay. So those motions were, and now we're going to take the consideration to make it say from all council when it comes back. But now we need a motion to postpone it to the next meeting.
Motion to postpone.
Second, Hilbert.
Motion to postpone was made by Councilwoman Jamie Summers Johnson and second by Councilwoman Hilbert. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton is absent. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
And Council President Wooten is absent. So that's 2 absence and 5 yeas. This will be postponed to the next meeting, and it will come back with the amended version. Is there anything else for the good of the order? Is there a motion
Motion to
to?
close?
Second, Montague.
Motion to close was made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson and second by Councilman Montague III. All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned at 9:21. What time you coming by tomorrow? Okay, it's fine, because I have to make all the changes. I'm trying to change all those things. And I'll-
Why do you think she did in Newark?